Welcome to Hunters TV, the show where we...
Force you to dream big, force you to master your reality, and force you to feel powerful.
I'm James.
I'm Boadi.
And I'm Shaka Ptah.
Today we'll be talking about the importance of identifying and establishing your why. So let's just take you back to the first episode. The first episode was about feeling powerful. So once you feel powerful, the second episode is about breaking your limitation barriers. Now, after you feel about powerful and you break your limitation barriers, the third episode is about... Help me out.
Finding one's purpose.
Finding one's purpose. There you go. He was trying to leave me hanging. Right.
Cool.
So today, after you feel powerful, after you break down your limitation barrier, after you find your purpose, now it's about identifying and establishing your why. So what does that mean exactly? If you think about it, let's say right now I'm trying to become the best football player on this planet, right? And let's just say right now I weigh 180, but I'm a pretty skinny guy. I'm trying to get bigger. I'm trying to get faster. I'm trying to jump higher. Let's say I reach a plateau where I can't get bigger, or it's hard for me to get any faster, or I just still can't touch the rim. I still can't touch 10 feet or anything like that. Now, at that point, I need to look at myself and I need to understand why I wanted to be a football player in the first place. I need to understand what made me want to pursue that goal, that dream, etc. So today we're just going to come at you with two different ways of the purpose of identifying and establishing your why. So without further ado.
That's solid. What I want people to know, just to touch on what James said, we like to take you guys through a course where the first episode we showed you how powerful you can be. The second episode we allowed you to test that power by breaking your limitation barrier. And then the third episode you found your purpose, because now you got all this power and you broke all your limitations. Let's find a purpose. Let's find something to do with that. All right. Now this episode is very important to us, and it's the why. Why are you chasing what you're chasing? Why do you have that purpose? So a beautiful way that we kind of wanted to break this down today is we wanted to talk about things that everybody's familiar with and why these things are currently on this planet. So the first thought that came to mind when we were brainstorming and creating this episode was the Great Wall of China. Now, if y'all wanna talk about a big why, first of all, just a little history lesson. We're gonna take you guys to school real quick.
Right.
First of all, the Great Wall of China was built in the course of 2,000 years by a Chinese nation. Its purpose was to defend China from the Mongolians. Now, this wall stretches over 13,000 miles. Like it's
from here to Cali.
So that's literally from New York to Cali, back to Cali. I mean, back to New York. Do that twice. You got to go there, back twice. You know what I mean? Yeah. And this was 2,000 years in the making. And you want to talk about a why? That's just crazy to me, because somebody wanted to stand there, a nation wanted to stand there and say, we want these people to stay out of our nation. We don't want them in. So that why drove them to develop such a humongous structure that stretches over so many provinces and so many miles just to keep a group of people out of your country.
And that was built 2,000 years ago.
No. That was built in the course. See, it wasn't built by one dynasty.
Okay, so it was over the course.
It was over the course of 2,000 years.
Dynasty.
So it goes back to, you want to understand a nation's why. You want to people stand there and say, you know what, why do you do what you do? And it's like, you know what, we want to protect our nation. We want to protect our families. We want to protect our mothers and our futures. Yeah. So we're gonna come up with this ridiculous idea, and we're gonna build a wall. Yeah. And not only are we gonna build a wall, we're gonna literally leave an imprint on this planet. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because we want the world to know this is our why, and this is what our why pushed us to produce. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So just thinking about that, I feel like it's crazy, because every single one of us has something that we want to do. Every single one of us has something that we want to leave on this planet and have it be remembered forever. Your why for doing that has to be big enough for that purpose to last 2,000 years. You know what I mean? Your why has to be that great, and it has to leave that type of impact that people are going to look back and say, you know what? This person did something astronomical, monumental, literally.
Do you feel like the more clear your why is, the bigger that you'll dream, the bigger that your goal will be?
Absolutely. I feel like as long as you understand, this is because the why has to be bigger than the dream.
Yeah.
The dream is just fulfilling that why. You know what I mean? It's just a means and a way of fulfilling that why. So the clearer that why is for a human being, the clearer that why is for a person, the further you're allowed to travel.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? The bigger you're allowed to dream. And I just felt like that was fascinating. Now, I didn't know anything about this on
China. I didn't know either.
But we were just sitting there and we were like, you know what? We look at the Great Wall of China. What would possess a nation to put something like that up? You know what I mean? And it was just like whatever was going on in the times. We don't know the whole history behind it, but it was big enough for the nation to not only start it, but for it to continue for over 2,000 years.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? And it's one of the only structures on this planet that you can see up from space.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So
tell me that ain't wild.
It's crazy.
Right?
It's crazy for somebody to stand there and take the outlook on life and say, you know what, we're gonna leave this footprint. So just to bring it back, once again, your why has to be greater than yourself. It has to be greater than your dream itself. It has to be greater than everything, because that why is what's gonna push you through. That why is what's gonna make that work last 2,000 years. It's what's gonna keep you from throwing in that towel. You know what I mean? And you had a pretty interesting one too when we talked.
Yeah, I actually do. So with mine, we were thinking about the Great Pyramid.
Yeah.
The Great Pyramid of Khufu at Giza. So it's Pharaoh Khufu's great. Giza. Sorry, Giza. The Great Pyramid of Pharaoh Khufu at Giza. Now, we all know pyramids are built for the pharaohs after they pass away and all of that. It's their monument, their lasting imprint on the world. Now, just to give you some facts about this one. It was built in 2,550 BC. That's 4,564 years ago. It's 481 feet. That's about 48 stories tall. To put that into perspective, the average skyscraper is 671 feet. So it's about 2/3 the size of the average skyscraper. Now, to bring this back, we literally do not have the technology to make this today. Reason being, it incorporates about almost 2.3 million stone blocks, weighing an average of 2.5 tons to 15 tons.
That's 2 elephants.
Yeah.
like,
no, that's right.
Imagine that. How in 2,550 BC, before Christ,
That's what I'm saying.
do you get 2.5 million tons or 2.3 million stone blocks weighing 2.5 tons
They knew their
apiece?
why.
Yeah, because it's just like
they knew
how,
their why.
it took over 20 years to build. It covers 13 acres, and to put that into perspective, those massive stone blocks, they would have to have laid one down every 2 to 2.5 minutes. How? Like, how do you do that? Like, how do you lay a 2.5 ton block stone structure every 2 to 2.5 minutes? Like, I don't understand that. It was built by thousands of skilled tradesmen and paid laborers. So we used to think that it were slaves.
Yeah.
It was slaves, but with this one, it wasn't.
Okay.
Now, put that into perspective. Pharaoh Khufu, he wanted to be remembered, like he said, he wanted to have his structure, his pyramid, leave a lasting imprint. Now, he wanted to be, I'm sure he was a great pharaoh. I don't know about his ruling. Mm-hmm. I know he ruled for 24 years, so hopefully he did well. Hopefully he did well.
That's cool.
But what this right here shows is that his why, him wanting to be one of the greatest pharaohs ever, like, I don't know if he was great, if he was a great man, an honest man, but I do know he was a powerful man.
Obviously.
I do know he was a powerful man. And obviously, people of great power or people of status want to have that great power to go with
that legacy.
That legacy.
Yeah.
So it's just a massive why, a crazy why. I still don't understand how people in that day and age, literally before Christ, could stand there and put together a structure.
The thing that I keep feeling is that, like, when you're really clear on your why, like, it just makes you want to go to the highest level of it. You know what I mean? And you could be like semi-clear on a why, like, you know, I want to help people.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily clear on a why. That's just a general thing. But when you're like, listen, I want to be remembered. I want to have the greatest pyramid ever built. I want it to be the most magnificent structure in the last 5,000 years so that people could still be talking about it on a talk show. Like, obviously, you didn't have that foresight. But to say that, like,
They may have.
right. When you build something like that, I wouldn't question it. But to say that, yeah, it just seems to me like he was clear on what he wanted.
And you know what? I feel like that happens with most of us today. You know what I mean? We get to a point in life where we all have these great and magnificent dreams, but we don't have a why that's greater than that dream to couple it. You know what I mean?
It's hard. It's hard a lot of times. It's hard a lot of times.
And I feel like once you, that's why it's important to find a why, because when you find that why, you can build monuments like this. You know what I mean? When you find out why, you can leave a lasting imprint on the world. And you can ask anybody that's been a huge dreamer, anybody that's left any type of imprint on this world, that's laid their life down for anything that they believed in. You ask them what their why is, they'll tell you that my why was greater than me. My why was greater than the dream that I had. And my why was not just for me. You know what I mean? Because nobody can stand there and say, I want to do this. So this it doesn't. I feel like things like this, a why as powerful as this, a powerful why can't be a selfish one. You know
Can't be money.
I feel like a powerful why it can't be money, because money fades or withers. It can't be a selfish one because we fade, we wither. It has to be one that has to be greater than you. It has to be greater than everything that you stand for. And it has to be greater than life itself. You know what I mean? Because that's what causes people to want to build great structures like this. That's what causes people to want to take a bullet for what they believe in. You know what I mean? Because I just feel like that's very important in pursuing anything.
I feel like if your why is just about you, it won't go any further than you.
Exactly.
And if you can't express anything out to anybody else because it's just you. It'll just be for you. So I definitely second that.
Right, so that's solid. And another thing that I wanted to touch on. There are...
He's on fire.
He's on fire.
Go ahead.
You can cool me down if you
No, you got it, man.
No, but there are a lot of people that when I talk to, you talk to football players, you talk to artists, you talk to any of those people, and what they will always tell you, anybody that's looking to do anything great, what they will always tell you is, I want to leave a lasting imprint. You know what I mean? I want to be remembered. I want to leave a legacy. And maybe sometimes it takes that to be the why, to make people do everything that they have to do to get to where they want to be.
Or maybe something as simple as, I just want to help out my mom. I want to help out my father. I want to make sure my little sister is okay. Because, I mean, when I started network marketing, I did network marketing a couple years back, and they asked me what was my why. I was so dumbfounded by the question, like, what are you talking about? Like I'm trying to make this money. And it was so shallow, but at the same time, I was ignorant to that question. I was ignorant. Nobody has ever asked me, James, why do you do what you do? So when I tell them money, it's just because that's being from
first thing that you think of.
I need to make money to get out.
Exactly.
So that's how I was looking at it. But if I would have just started it differently, my why was making sure that I would never have to spend another day in the hood, then it would be more powerful. People would be more willing to get behind me on that.
And you and your family. I mean, I've known you for a couple of years now. I feel like that would always have been your answer. But the thought process was just like, I want to get this right.
Right, buddy.
I mean, I agree with that. I feel like with that, most people's whys are their families. Most people's whys are. I feel like you bring it down. You take it from building pyramids, and you take it from building Great Walls of China. I feel like most people's whys are, their family, their loved ones, making sure that when they pass on, their loved ones have something to latch on to. They have left something for their loved ones. They have left something for their name. Their name can leave an imprint on their world, you know. And I feel like that's very important, that we all realize these things. So do you have anything to say to wrap up?
No, just understand what your why is. So try to find it. Don't try, find it. Find your why. So that way, when you hit that plateau, when you hit that roadblock, you'll be able to dig deep within yourself. Because I'll tell you this, what we're doing here, we have a deep why, right? So there's no stopping. There's no stopping at this point. We're starting, so if we hit a roadblock, anything, we know that our why is to help you out. So just find your why. That's it.
Yeah, and to just wrap up, once again, like you said, your why, our why is greater than any sacrifice that we have to make because of the message that we're trying to get out, because of the people that we're trying to reach. Our why has to be greater than ourselves. It has to be more important than the sleep that I have to get. It has to be more important than anything. Because when a situation arises and something wants to take us away from what we're doing here, our why has to be able to be big enough to prevail, to help us push through that adversity. So with that being said, that wraps up the first segment. Next segment, we're going to introduce you guys to a fourth guest. Great person, great personality. She's chasing her dreams.
Very hard worker.
Very hard worker, chasing her dreams, just getting it, just going out there and getting it, and making sure that she's paving a way for other people like her to go out there and get it as well. So we'll be right back, and stay tuned.
Welcome back to Hunters TV. We now have our very special guest. Her name is Haley Jackson. She's preying on her success by balancing the whole full-time student, going to college thing. She has quite a few jobs, and she's also a singer, and she's trying to get to the next level with that and give the world her message. So without further ado, we have Haley Jackson.
So Haley, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm 20 years old. I go to East Stroudsburg University as a sophomore. I'm a speech pathology major, so it's not really the same track as music, not really similar, most people would think, but that's basically what I'm doing right now. I was born in Huddersfield, England, nice. So I'm British. Moved over here when I was 7. It's pretty cool, I know.
It is.
And now I live in the Lehigh Valley, so completely different than what I was used to in England, but I really like it here, and I'm just trying to share my music and do what I love to do, sing and express myself through playing guitar and performing in general. So.
That's beautiful.
Do you remember England?
Yeah, I lived there till I was 7, so most of my childhood was there. Had a lot of friends. I still keep in contact with friends and stuff like that.
Nice.
I have family over there. Grandparents, stuff like that. So
I actually told him and a couple of other friends, I'm going to England 2016.
Are you?
I've always wanted to do it. You know what I mean? So it's just like, why not?
When are you going?
I'm not sure yet. I'm thinking maybe around the spring break time.
Okay, because I'll be there.
Really?
I'm studying abroad
That's what's up.
in England,
That's
in
what's up.
Sunderland. It's like north of England.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'd love to visit England.
Yeah, I mean, England sounds pretty cool. I more so want to visit France.
Okay.
That's my thing. France and Rome, but not to take anything away from
That's
England,
okay.
right?
All right. So tell us how you being a hunter and preying on your success.
There's so many aspects to, preying on your success and hunting, as you say.
That's what you say.
That's true. It's mostly, I want to express myself and do the best I can to get myself out there and take the steps I need to take to hunt and to gain that success. So, starting out, I want to show the audience or my listeners, something that they want, something that, they pertain to, what they really, really listen. So, I express myself through my music and by sharing my lyrics and sharing exactly what I want to say and putting it into words and having those listeners, can relate or experience what I'm feeling. That can help me in steps of becoming whatever I want to be, you know,
Right.
rather the top. You can't be completely successful in certain terms. Like, so like the top, you know, I'm not trying to reach the complete top. That's really hard. I mean, I would love to, but you know, there's parts where there's steps I want to take. So for me, I want to just feel happy with myself, be happy with my music and the lyrics I'm writing.
So you kind of just want to experience the road to that success.
Yes.
Like you're more for the experience of it.
Yes,
That's
definitely.
pretty cool. I like
So my question for you would be, what is your message? So you know how, let's say, The Weeknd, he has a very particular message as opposed to somebody like Neo, Beyonce. What is Haley's message?
Ooh. Well, my message, I would say, believe in yourself and love yourself. Because that's what I write through my music. I mean, I write through experiences I've experienced and feelings I've felt. But in the end, I always feel like I put across the message of it's all about me. And it's for me, this music's for me, my lyrics are for me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I feel. So I guess that would be my message.
Great.
That's solid. So what's the greatest gift you think you can give the world?
To relate, you know, something that you can listen to and relate to. Like music I like to listen to is stuff I can be like, you know, I've experienced that or I've felt something like that. So when I write, I want people to feel like, okay, you know, I've experienced that. I've felt her pain. I felt her happiness.
Mm-hmm.
And I want people to listen and be like, you know, I really, even if they just enjoy the sound of it, you know,
Mm-hmm.
oh, this is a nice tune, it's catchy, you know, that's even good for me. I like that. So if someone just comes up to me and says, you know, oh, I really like your sound, I like your music, I like the way you write, any of that would help me in becoming more of a better artist.
That's just I like that. What motivates you in your quest for overall life fulfillment?
There's so many motivations in my life. You know, you could listen to people say, oh, you know, motivations with family, friends. And yes, those are my motivations to keep going, keep writing. But like, there's a motivation in me that makes me want to keep writing. And every experience I've ever felt, I write about.
Mm-hmm.
And my music's very straightforward. It's very, okay, this is what happened, this is how I feel, and put it down on paper. But as for my motivation, I guess just every day, you know, I wake up and I feel motivated to write because I enjoy it. It's for me, it's my, not just my hobby, it's a lifestyle. It's something I enjoy doing, and I love performing. So I guess my motivation would just be myself, and then friends and family, and, you know, events that happen in my life that motivate me to write and pursue music.
So it's just the overall inspiration, right?
Yeah.
Like me, I write poetry, right? So when I write my poetry, it may come from a particular, I don't know, let's say movie I watched or a TV show I watched or an experience that, I don't know, I've had when I was younger that basically just came back into my life or whatever, right? Let's say we have, or you think about something in England when you were 7 years old. You're like, oh, I actually remember that and I love that memory. I want the world to hear that. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So today's episode has been about why. You know, why we do certain things. Why we keep on going. Why we keep pushing. So what is your why? What is your biggest why? Because we all have why we do certain things, but everybody has that one big why.
Right.
You know. So what would your big why be?
Well, first off, why not?
Why
Why not?
It's a good why.
Nice.
Not a bad why.
You know, I feel like every person's put into this world for a purpose. Some people want to become doctors, some people want to just help others in general. And for me, that's to help myself and others and make others feel happy and content with not just my music, but me as a person, you know, as an artist that, you know, just put everything into their music, but terrible people. I want to be that overall person. So the reason why I want to do this is because I want to have self-fulfillment. Not only that, but also make others feel what I'm writing, like I said before, through my lyrics, feel what I'm feeling, and that would be my goal.
And I like that because music is a powerful thing. You know what I mean? Music literally can change. You can listen to a song and it can change you. It can alter your moods.
Yep.
You know, and I feel like that's powerful. And when you're taking a platform such as music, and you're using that to inspire, you're using that to make sure that people love themselves. You're using that to make sure that you're putting positive content out there. I feel like that's great because music is one of those things that just it alters moods. It's a powerful tool. So I really like that.
How often do I listen to music?
An annoying amount.
Every day, every second I could listen to music.
That's
I listen to music.
All night.
Yep, all
Yes.
day, all night. That's
Like all
me.
night.
I love music.
Like through sleep.
Yep.
like blasting.
Yes.
You got other roommates. It's annoying. But I mean, we love what we love. We love what we love.
Mhm.
So I'd like to say, you know, we like to always do a special talent when we bring on our guests. We like to have them showcase a special talent. And you know, you do music and all of that. Is there anything that you would like to show the audience today?
I'm going to be singing an original called Your Song that I wrote in the summer. So I'd like to do a live performance of that with my guitar and me.
Nice.
Splendid.
Real quick, before we go, where can we find your music? Do you have a SoundCloud, anything like that?
My SoundCloud doesn't have anything on it right yet because there's some copyright issues, but I do have a YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming on the video we could put the link on there or something, so it's kind of hard to say. It's a long thing.
Okay, yeah, we can do
YouTube,
that.
getting a Facebook for me, like my music career. So.
Are you doing any more performances?
Not anytime right
Not
now.
anytime soon?
I'm studying abroad, so right now I'm
Okay.
trying to prepare
Sure.
for that. But when I'm in England,
Mhm.
I'm definitely gonna sit down and start doing my album, which is coming together,
Nice.
and hopefully doing some performances over there, getting a little bit of exposure
Okay.
for myself.
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
But we'll keep you guys updated with her.
Yes, we will. All right, so we're gonna let you do your thing, and we'll take it from that. You guys are in for another trip today, so enjoy.
Thought your love I'd never find, never guess you'd be the one to change my mind.
Welcome back, guys. All I gotta say is, Haley, wow. You know,
Wow's not the word.
Yeah.
How?
How?
Why?
But nah, seriously, that was amazing.
Thank you.
Like, you really did your thing. I was really impressed by that, you know, and I'm really excited to see where you go with that. I'm really excited to see that album when it finally drops.
Yes. I mean, it was just amazing, impeccable. Like, I literally felt like I was listening to not only a CD but a concert, and it was amazing once again. Like, I love it. Hopefully you keep on. Hopefully you touch a lot of souls. And I am a fan of Haley Jackson.
Wow.
As am I. And that's great. We really do thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
No problem at all. We appreciate you sharing your talent with the world, sharing you with the world. We always love to see that. We always promote that. So you did just that for us, and for that we are honored to have you on our show today.
Thank you.
So the last thing I would say is, so now that you're officially a hunter, right? Mm-hmm. We have to do the hunter handshake as you go off, right?
Okay.
So Boadi, show me the handshake.
Salute. So it's mind, body, soul. All right.
It's pretty simple.
So it's mind. You gotta bring it. Body. Soul.
All right. One fluid motion.
Now we gotta do one smooth. One smooth. All right. There we go.
All right. Nice. All right. So now we have Shaka Ptah, another amazing performer, and he's going to come to you with his spoken word for the day. So just another treat. See you guys.
I get 2 today.
Get two.
All right.
Look up at the sky. Don't you think it's beautiful? Listen to the birds. Don't you find them musical? Sometimes I wish I could get through to you. Sometimes I wish that you didn't lose the you in you. Chain on top of chain flow. Django, slaves though. Baby, you can stay. But can you make the pain go? Please. Please. I really need something to believe. I look around the world and I don't really see much. A lot of people giving up. Nobody wants to be much. Agree much, dream much, and you don't know the plan. Lost in opinions that you don't understand. They give so little. Baby, why they take so much? Love is free. Baby, why they hate so much? Look up at the sky and find it beautiful. Listen to the birds. You might just find them musical. You might just find them musical.
Thank you guys for watching another episode of Hunters TV. Really like to thank our special guest, Haley Jackson, for coming out and just showcasing her stuff, man. Girl has some great talent.
It was beautiful.
Yeah. We also like to thank Shaka Ptah for coming out and doing his thing like he usually does. And to you, the viewer, especially, for taking time out of your day to view our content. Today's topic was the importance of identifying and establishing one's why. And James, just bring home some points for us to wrap this up.
So just to recap, your why has to be bigger than your dream. Reason being, because you're trying, your why is the reason why you're dream chasing, right? So to put that into perspective, let's take it back to the whole Great Wall of China analogy, right? The whole example of that. They literally spent over 2,000 years?
2,000 years.
Over 2,000 years building this wall to protect themselves from the Mongolians, right? And it's over 13,000 miles?
13,000 miles.
13,000 miles. Once again, from New York to California is 3,000 miles around, roughly. So that's from New York to Cali, from Cali back to New York, from New York back to Cali, from Cali back to New York.
Ridiculous.
That is perspective. And so you look at the Great Pyramids of Giza, right? With Pharaoh Khufu. Like, literally each stone weighed 2.5 to 15 tons. 2.5 to 15 tons. That's ridiculous. Crazy, because it was built over 4,000 years ago. We're in 2016 now. It was built in 2550 BC. That's before Christ. Excuse me. And we don't even have the technology to do it now. So just think about the why factor that goes into that. Like Pharaoh Khufu, he wanted to be the greatest pharaoh that has ever lived. And he has the seventh, or one of the 7 great wonders of the ancient world. So it's just like the why behind that, and it took 20 years to build. the why behind that is astronomical. So your why has to be greater than your dream. As bring it back to the example once again. The Chinese, their dream was to have the greatest wall to protect themselves from the Mongolians, right? But their why factor was to essentially
protect themselves.
Yeah. So the dream was to have themselves protected. Now you gotta help me out here.
Listen, I got you. I'll take that. Basically, with the Chinese, their why was protection. Their why was protection from invaders, and that why brought about the dream of the Great Wall of China. Mm-hmm. You know, it took the power of that why for them to stand there and say, you know what, we need ultimate protection from not just Mongolians, but from any invaders that come that try to come bum rush us.
Right.
And they came up with that. They came up with that wall. So like James said, your why has to be greater than your dream, and that's what we want you guys to take away from this today. Make sure whatever your why is, whatever your dream is, make sure that there's a why that stands behind that is far greater than that dream. And with that being said, be hunters and pray on your success.
Pray on your success. Thank you.